Welcome to my channel. My name's Sammii. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions type of video on the brand Winky Lux. I wanted to do like a full face, but when I went to buy everything, they didn't have everything in stock, so I got as much as I could. There are some other products that I do put in to like make the whole look complete, and I'll list those as well throughout the video. And most of them are fairly cheap since Winky Lux is like a mid-range price brand, I would say. Like, it's a little more expensive than the drugstore, but it's not as expensive as like Sephora or things you can get at the high-end section of Ulta. And I hope you enjoy the video, so I'm just gonna get to it. I need to moisturize my skin, and I'm gonna go in with the Winky Lux Whipped Cream Primer. You have to be careful because it's like when you go into it, it kind of just chunks up. Like, it just comes up really easily. So I have the primer, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. I'm just going to focus it in the areas that I think I need the most, like around my nose area or like where I get patchy the easiest, and especially between my brows and my chin area. It's all rubbed in and it doesn't really feel at all tacky like some other primers that I use. It just feels really like smoothing. So let's see what it says it does. On the website it just says whipped until it is oh so silky. Our whipped cream primer can be worn alone for a fresh, clean look or under foundation for a flawless hold and weightless feel. Pro tip, apply in a circular motion with fingertips. For best results, pair with the Winky Lux Diamond Complexion Powder. This primer also retails for $19. I feel like as it sets, it might be getting a little more tacky. At first it just felt really smooth, but I think it's getting a little tacky now. So we'll see how that goes with the foundation. And I'm going in with the shade Fair. I also don't know if this is going to be my foundation color anymore. I bought this a couple months ago, and I've been meaning to make a video with it, and I haven't. So I'm hoping for the best. And I know I've gotten paler since then. And today I'm going to be using their White Tea Tinted Veil Moisturizer as a foundation. Before, I'm not too sure on their website when I bought this if they had the little compacts that they have now. I'll put an image up. These are their foundations now, but this is what I remember them having when I purchased it. And I know they didn't have light, which is the color the shade I thought I would be. So I did end up getting Fair, but it looks a little off for my skin tone when I did the swatch of it, which you'll see right now. But I'm hoping for the best. If not, maybe with the concealer it'll look good. And then what it says about their White Tea Tinted Veil Moisturizer, the description is pamper, protect, and refresh skin with this calming tea infused tinted moisturizer. White tea and pomegranate extract help protect the skin while vitamins A and E nourish. This lightweight formula provides a sheer hint of color and protection from UV rays with broad spectrum SPF 30. The White Tea Tinted Veil Moisturizer also retails for $25. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try using a beauty blender with it first. And if not, I have some brushes that I could use as well. I'm gonna start off by pumping this on the back of my hand. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be my shade, but we'll hope for the best. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in while I put this on. Next, for the concealer, it is called the Perfect Peeper Under Eye Concealer. It retails for $14. And the description is, hey bright eyes, awaken tired peepers and conceal under eye circles all day with our creamiest stay put concealer yet. This is what it looks like with the concealer and the moisturizer on. Now I remember, so when I bought this moisturizer, the foundation was out of stock. So I picked this as the next best thing. It does have some coverage, but it's sheer, but it will, I mean, for it being a tinted moisturizer with sunscreen in it, it's pretty cool. I've never used something like this, like a BB cream kind of is what it reminds me of. But I've also never used a BB cream, but I think that's what this is to an extent. But it feels nice, it doesn't feel heavy. I feel like my under eyes feel kind of heavy though. For the concealer, I do feel like it's quite heavy under my under eyes. There's also something in it, since I've used it, that I'm not too sure what it could be in the ingredients that I might be allergic to, but my sinuses just really started hurting. Like all in here, it just kind of hurts now. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep going on with it. I did not pick up powder from Winky Lux, but I do have the One Heck of a Blot by Soap and Glory, which is a really good powder in itself. It's quite affordable, so I felt like it was fine to put instead. And I'm just gonna go ahead and like set my under eyes and forehead area. I'm not gonna bake, but I'm just gonna do a light dusting. I also did not pick up a bronzer, and I'm pretty sure they were out of stock of this as well. A lot of things I was trying to get a complete full face with, but a lot of them they were out of stock. I'm also sorry if you see me looking down. I'm looking at the website just to check what they have, since it's been a while since I did purchase these products. Okay, so I don't think I have a cheap bronzer. I just have a couple, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer. And like I said, I am going quite light-handed with this since you can still see all the details on my skin. I don't want it to be like an intense bronze, so I just went light-handed with it. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the eyes. And I've done a whole video on this palette before. This is the Winky Lux Marcia palette. It's the La Fruta palette. So if you want swatches and everything, I'll put a link down in the description where you can see that video where I did a whole look and I swatched all the colors and talked about the palette itself. I actually really think if you were to get anything out of this so far, this is well worth it. I've actually really liked this palette. I've used it a few times, but it's been winter and like it came out last summer, so I got it at the end of summer. This doesn't matter. You don't really care. It'll be a good palette to pick up for spring and summer because it has really fun, playful colors. So I'm gonna do a simple look with this. I already kind of primed my lids with the concealer that I used, so I'm just gonna bring you in, figure out a quick look to do. Hey, welcome. Wow, this concealer is not doing anything good for me, for my under eyes. I'm gonna start off by taking Uva and building it into my crease. I'm pretty sure this shade was called Uva. I don't have the box anymore, so you'll have to bear in mind with me. If I say the shade's wrong, I'll probably correct it, or I'll put the name up as well on the screen for you guys. Just tapping off the excess, and I'm just gonna build this into my crease and bring it into my outer V as well. And I'm just gonna build up the intensity for this look, and I'm probably gonna do a kind of cut crease look. I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop concealer in shade Fair 4 and use this. So sorry, I have my head tilted very low. One trick you can do if you have like, I think I have slightly hooded eyes, is when you cut your crease, if it tends to transfer up, what I found in a video, if I can remember who I found it by, I'll post the link down in the description. They did a good tutorial on how to like do a good cut crease if like you end up having a lot of transfer. I think it's for hooded eyes. I think I have hooded eyes. I'm not too sure what eye shape I have. But so what you can do is you can put some on your lid and then look up and kind of look around, and you'll see that it transfers up, and then you cut it from there. I'm also not the best at cutting my crease, but I try. And then I'm going to take shade Pesca, and I'm going to put this on top of where I put the concealer. And now I'm taking the brush that I lightly dipped into Uva with, and I'm going to dip into Pesca again, and I'm just going to blend these so the line's not so harsh. Okay, I think that works more or less. So I ended up just trying to use Pesca and blend it over the line into the Uva that I already had. It kind of just got a little funky right here. So I went back into Uva, and then I just blended it on top of Pesca, and then it kind of just made a better gradation. Uva on my lower lash line as well. And last but not least, I'm gonna go into Limon, and I'm gonna take a packing brush and go into Limon, which is the yellow shade in the palette, and I'm gonna pack that into my inner corner. And then I'm gonna just do this eye really quick. Next, I'm gonna go with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Alright, this is what it looks like with the mascara on. For the mascara, I used the Maybelline Lash Sensational because I did not pick up one from Winky Lux. Next, I'm going to use some blush, and I'm going to go in with the Sleek palette, and this is Pumpkin 363. I'm going to go in, yes, with the pink shade. I'm going to go light-handed though, because I know these are quite pigmented. I also don't really wear blush often, but I feel like since this is like pinky, I feel like it might look cute with some blush. This picks up super strong on camera. It is not this strong in real life. This looks so intense on camera, which it doesn't in real life. I'm going to take some more of my powder, and I'm going to take it on my powder brush, and I'm going to just kind of like go over it to dull it down a bit. Alright, I think that's okay. It's still quite pink, but I think that's how it'll have to, I think this is just how it's going to have to be for now. Next, I'm going to go in with the highlighter, and this is in Bubbles. The Power Lights highlighter retails for $16. Get camera ready with this star-powered soft focus powder highlighter. The longwear technology gently refracts light, creating a velvety, luminescent glow that lasts all day. Apply to the highest part of your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, your brow bone, and Cupid's bow for exquisite shaping, natural looking luster. One thing I noticed when I was swatching this before, it feels wet, which is really interesting. So I'm wondering how it'll look on, but it's very wet feeling. When you touch it, it's probably a cream to powder. I'm just gonna use a brush that I usually use to highlight, and I'm just gonna pick some of it up. See how this works first. If this doesn't work that great, then I'll probably go in with a beauty blender to see if that works better for applying. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so intense. Okay, so I'm gonna take my beauty blender actually and try to tone that down. Oh my goodness. So this stuff is very pigmented. So I'm gonna gently put it on then, since I have a lot on the brush, and then I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just blend it out. Oh my goodness, it's really pretty. And since I'm going in like this, you can easily build it up. It's really like a liquid highlighter, but in a pan. It's really interesting. I haven't used them. I mean, the closest thing I've used to this is the Cover FX drops, I would say. But this doesn't really, I mean, it doesn't show your pores too much. It does a little bit in like some areas, but it's not too bad. Your finger actually might be the best way to blend it. Now that I'm trying it with my finger, it just seems to be blending better. I'm just gonna lightly dip in and then go to my brow bone and then kind of blend it out with my finger. Next, I'm gonna do my brows really quick. So they have one brow product. It is called the Unibrow Universal Eyebrow Pencil. It retails for $14. And they say, get your best brows ever. The firm texture allows for maximum control, creating a universally flattering look every time. The harder the pressure, the darker the brow. Use soft pressure for lighter colored brows. Tips on tips. Use the pointed end of the artist's tip to draw small hairs at the chubby end to fill in the sparse patches. For extra polish, brush your unibrow with the custom tip spoolie. So you can see when I swatched it, I try to do like a lighter hand and then a darker hand so you can see that it can be darker the more pressure you put on it. This is what the tip looks like. I'm gonna go in with like the sharp pointed tip at the top, and I'm gonna gently just line my brows first because that's just typically how I do them. Like I make an outline and then I fill them in. I'm also not the best at doing brows, but I try my best. I'm gonna take the spoolie and just brush it and blend it. I usually blend from the bottom up and out, and then I blend down. Also, this is kind of late in the video, but sorry if I sound really nasally. I've had really bad allergies. I have 3 lip products from Winky Lux. One just came with my order and it's in the shade Lolly. And I'm gonna just swatch all 3 for you so you can see. The other 2 are part of Marzi's collaboration and they are Tatro and Frajola. Okay, well, when I typed in Lolly on their website, it did not come up, so maybe it's just like an offhand color they throw in. Maybe you can't buy the full size, I'm not too sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply this shade. And this is shade Lolly On. I think it's a nice pink. It's a much brighter pink than I usually wear. I usually wear either like darker lipsticks, or I've been trying to get into nudes recently, but I think it looks cute with this look. It's kind of like a bright lip though with a bright eye, but otherwise, I mean, I think it's fine. But here's the final look. Get some even more closer ups. Hey. These are the eyes up close as well. I'm gonna do a close up on everything really quick so you can see how it looks. So overall, I think the products worked really well. I'm not too fond of this tinted moisturizer. I think it works like if you were looking for a BB cream, but I also do not like this concealer. If you're looking for like a tinted moisturizer, I think this works well. I think it does its job. It's not something I'd buy again personally. I prefer full coverage foundation, but at least it has SPF in it, so that's really cool to use if you just want a light look and you're going out for the day. You'll have that protection. I'm not, so I would say this is worth getting if it's something you're interested in. I do not like this concealer. It feels really heavy. Doesn't have a scent, but for some reason with me, it's just like hurting my face. It's like giving me a headache as soon as I applied this, unless it could also be this. Maybe it's something in the White Tea Tinted Veil Moisturizer. It's either one of these for me, but I just noticed it when I put this on. So I'm thinking it's the under eye concealer, and I mainly felt it under my under eyes. So that's what I'm thinking. Comparing the Winky Lux Hyper Perfect to ColourPop No Filter Concealer. So the Winky Lux Concealer is $14 and you get 0.33 fluid ounces in it. I would pick the ColourPop concealer over it. This is 0.33 fluid ounces. This is 0.14 fluid ounces, but it's $6 versus $14. So even if you bought two of these, you're basically getting the same value. And I feel like this feels better. It just wears better. I haven't even had this makeup on very long, but I can just say that I don't personally like this product. But I mean, feel free to give it a go if you'd like to. But overall, I'd recommend using a ColourPop concealer over this. The palette. I love the palette. Marcy's palette's great. I've never used any of their other eyeshadow palettes before. This palette retails for $25, which isn't too bad. I like the color selection personally, and I really like Marcia. So for me, it was worth it, but I mean, and it was different than a lot of colors that I already have in my collection. It was more like bright colors, and I usually have a lot of neutral colors, so I thought it was fun to get. The liquid lip, I mean, it's an okay liquid lip. These full size are usually $15, and then the regular lipsticks are $15 each as well. Overall, I think their lipsticks feel much nicer on, so I would choose their lipsticks over their liquid lips. The primer, I think the primer's fine. I think it feels nice. I'd have to try it again with a different foundation, so I might do a review of this on its own with a different foundation since this was a tinted moisturizer, but I think it was fine. If you let it sit for a few minutes before you put on your foundation, it will start getting a little bit tacky, and I think that'll help. The brow pencil, I feel like it's okay. I don't know if you need it. You can get plenty of other brow pencils that are better. You can get ones from NYX that are better. So I would personally choose one over this. It does its job though. If you want to get something from Winky Lux and support it, then I think it's worth getting. And then the highlighter. I really like the highlighter. I think it's worth getting. The highlighter is $16. I don't feel like that's too bad for a price. I mean, I'm sure Wet n Wild also makes great ones and they're really cheap. I think they're under $5. But this one was really bright and I think it reflects really well. I think it's really nice. It's just you just have to apply it differently because it is basically like a liquid highlighter. It's really interesting. Like even when you look at it up close, if I can get it to focus, it already looks wet in the pan. So it's really interesting to use, but I think it's cool and I'll definitely use it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you want me to review, let me know. I had a lot of fun doing this. It was fun testing new products and I did a different look than I usually do. But if there's anything you want me to review in the future, just let me know. And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!